know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the Warfield.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by BetOnline.AG. BetOnline would like to wish you a happy new betting year as we continue our march to the playoffs and beyond. BetOnline remains the number one spot for all the best sports wagering action for 2022. New year and a new updated desktop and mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code, and that's BELIEVE, BLEAV, to get started. From football, basketball, hockey, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for 2022. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. It's a very special edition tonight as we have former defensive end for the Minnesota Vikings, Kansas City Chiefs, and Cincinnati Bengals, and Duane Clemons coming on. He's going to talk to us about recapping last week's game against the Buffalo Bills and also previewing the upcoming battle in the AFC Championship against the Cincinnati Bengals. And also, please stay after for a special edition, kind of a banter and talk and conversation with Duane on what he's been doing since football and what he's continuing to do now. It's great talk, and stick around after the show to hear more about it.
Who you got winning this weekend?
You know I got you know who put the ring on my finger? There can only be one. But, you know, I got love for my Bengals. I still got them up here. You know they put some donuts on the crib.
That's what's up.
But you know,
so like I'm a football fan, so I enjoy watching good football. I've been a fan of Joe Burrow since he was at LSU. I enjoy what he's doing in Cincinnati for the city, for the team. You know, and he got you guys in the playoffs right now. And I guarantee they didn't see that. They didn't see that happening this fast. Dude's a hell of a quarterback. You know, Cincinnati has a lot to be proud of, and just as well as Buffalo. Buffalo got a nice one up there too.
Yeah,
but right now, the way these boys are playing, I can't put nobody up against them right now that's gonna beat them.
Yeah, man. You know, it's gonna be a hard conference. This whole AFC is just getting rougher and rougher and rougher. And I am scared to death that somehow Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are gonna end up at Denver and the Raiders, and our conference is gonna be like a super conference.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
That be, man, you got Herbert. Carr ain't playing too bad. Carr's a top quarterback. Herbert, Carr. You had one of them dudes, Aaron Rodgers, and then Patrick Mahomes, and just the rest of the AFC.
Yeah, and then you got the AFC North, which is, I mean, you still got Lamar
Jackson, yeah.
And you know, Pittsburgh has got to reload. You know, Pittsburgh's gonna reload. They're gonna be back. You know, so it's only a matter of time before Thompson figures something out.
You know what? It's a lot of the old guys are starting to find their way out the door. You know, and much love to them. You know, Ben Roethlisberger. We have Phillip Rivers. You know, we got who else we've had retired lately. You know, we don't know what's going to happen with Tom Brady, Drew Brees. But I tell you what, though, the game is being left in some good hands.
Yeah,
these young cats are coming in here playing some good football.
Oh yeah, they picked up that stick and ran with it.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. And for years to come, he's all these 23, 24, 25 years old. I mean, we're talking, you know, good football for another 10, 15 years. Easy.
If they let me take care of them, they'll be 50 years old playing. They'll outdo Brady.
They can surpass Tom Brady's age.
Yeah. Oh, my God, man. I have them out there bionic.
Dude, and look, and you young boys got it too, man. They giving me jokers $500 million, D. Clem.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason not to have this in the budget. Like, to me,
Right.
with the contract they have, everybody should have their own personal practitioner. That's literally like, listen, every single day I come off that field, I want to be like a NASCAR. You checking everything, toes, ankles, feet. Everything should be back in alignment and back on track by the time I get up in the morning and go back to work. And that's the way we can look at ourselves as athletes. Like, we should be constantly maintaining.
So you pretty much put you got it looking like it's the some futuristic Jetson type stuff. When you step off the football field, you step into a little chamber, almost like an MRI machine, and do a little checkup. Then you get out and go home.
Unfortunately, it's not all that contained. I got like 3 separate rooms where you kind of go through different stages. So you got your hyperbaric chamber with the oxygen to re-oxygenate your cellular level, detoxify your blood, get rid of all the inflammation and lactic acid. Then you get the magnetic therapy, which is going to recharge your cells, help you sleep deeper, improve your cognitive abilities. Then we get into the manual therapies. Then we do the other stuff, the neuromagnetic laser. By the time you come off the assembly line at the other end, you're like, yes, I'm ready to go again. But that's how our lives should be. Like, for whatever reason, this sitting in the ice tub was not enough to keep us on the field and keep us feeling good. And that's the reason why we didn't last as long as we probably could have.
Right.
Got you.
So,
hey, you were the one that weren't you the one that hit McNair and broke his ribs the game we played them?
Yeah, I broke McNair's sternum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was definitely the hardest hit of my life, because that hit, what nobody understands is that hit hurt me. I should have been in the concussion protocol. That's the crazy part of that game. Like, I hit him so hard, I broke his sternum, but then nobody checked on me. I remember laying there for a second, like, and I looked at him and I was like, oh shit, he messed up. And I was sitting there like, oh God, that hurt. And then slowly,
but you had that adrenaline though, so you probably didn't show it.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not, but I was hurt. There was no way I didn't have a concussion. If you saw that hit, there was no way I did not have a concussion. I literally put my 2 eyeballs through his chest.
Damn, that was a game where I found out my back was jacked up.
You probably got up, people start hitting you in your head. Good job, D. Clem. You know, everybody could like, hey, God, man, I got Tweety Bird coming around my head right now. You know,
Big Chet was the first person to slap me too.
Who was?
Chester McLaughlin, God rest his soul.
Oh yeah. Chet, wow, yeah.
Well, that's the God rest his soul to both of them.
That's
right.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why, I mean, just think about all the wear and tear we put on our body, and then we're gonna put opioids and anti-inflammatories. It's like, man, we got to get as much junk out of our system, and get back to herbs and juicing and using like omega oils and just basically putting the right fuel in our bodies so that we can actually last whatever peptides for collagen and elastin. And these young guys are starting to learn that, and that's why I love like what LeBron is doing, what Brady's doing. They're showing that longevity is all about how you do it. Anybody can make it. Tom Brady wasn't no great athlete. Look at him. If you tell me Tom Brady can last 20 years in this business just by doing the right maintenance, having the right regimen, shoot, man, imagine what these guys like Pat and Burrows are going to do if they get the right people in their corner and we actually start, kind of instituting this as a norm versus like just a handful of guys are living this lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Marcus. What you got for us?
Well, you guys kind of mentioned you guys are talking about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, we saw the game on Sunday. And it was probably the most viewed game in the last 5 years. Based on the numbers of that game. What were you guys' takeaways from that game? I mean, did you guys expect? What we saw in the 13 seconds? I know JD, we were texting about it, but what was your guys' takeaways from that the game on Sunday?
Well,
you go first, Jake?
Yeah. Look, to me. When I seen the 13 seconds on the clock, in my head, I was like, I knew we had a chance. I did. And because you kind of work through scenarios as much as possible in practice, thinking about like hook and ladder, a couple of plays, like a quick little screen like that. The first play they set up with just on the Tyreek Hill and bursting for like 25 yards was probably the best setup you could possibly have. That was the best scenario you could possibly get in that situation. And then all of a sudden, when you're looking at it against a pre-beat defense, having the middle open and Kelsey and them just running pretty much backyard football, throwing it to him, I mean, they pretty much gave it to Patrick and them. And I'll just say, those guys on the same page, realizing with that IQ. That's football IQ right there. I'm just saying, like, look, the middle's open. I'm going to run this. And it was just the two plays was the best scenarios you could possibly think of, really. And so hats off to them just going out there and playing ball and not giving up and not just seeing, just the roller coaster of emotions. I mean, you see Buffalo over on the sideline, they doing the peace sign. We going home at it. Look, I'm sitting there looking at TV. I'm like, we got 13 seconds left. We got 13, and I know we got 15 back here, with that cannon. And so when, he throwing 87 and 10 out there, man, it's a whole different animal. And so we seen how Tyreek Hill before, like I think in that segment, he had just scored on that little shallow cross. And he ran that shallow and took it to the house. Come on, man. Look, anytime you got two dynamic players like Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and that guy back there, Patrick Mahomes, you got an opportunity and a chance. And so I was more hopeful on that part as opposed to like feeling bad, like, oh man, them guys, man, they pulled it out.
JD, what about the game management? Hats off to the coaches, man.
Yeah.
Having those 2 timeouts with that 13 seconds. I mean, there were so many chances that they could have burned those timeouts. There was so much adversity earlier in that game. But to be in that situation and still having all 3 timeouts, that gave them an eternity.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And like you said, man, I'm just thinking about that. Having 3 timeouts in that situation scenario is just foresight by Andy and those guys. Like, look, we don't need to call anything right now. And the thing was, you're not really stopping the offense. So there's really no need to really call it, right? And so you see, what they're doing defensively. Like, if we're not stopping anybody, what's the point? So I just, in that situation, and I'll say this, I thought maybe they might have taken a timeout. The one time they was in 4th down, if you had stopped Josh Allen on that one, the game was over, right? And he runs for the 4th down. Remember, Ingram comes in and he beats the tackle, throws him with the one arm, right? I mean, just absolutely obliterates him. And then I don't know who it was, came over and missed him. And then Frank Clark comes in with a bad angle, and Josh gets the first down. I'm like, done, And so it's going to the next one. I thought maybe at that time, you take a timeout to kind of assess what you really want to do to stop on this 4th down play, because you stop him, the game's over. I mean, really. So, yeah, no doubt, D. Clem. I agree with you, man. Hats off to the guys just managing it. Seriously.
Yeah, there was at least 2 times I would have called timeouts.
Okay. I ain't gonna sit here and lie like I thought we had the game won with 13 seconds. As long as I've been watching sports, as long as I've been a part of sports, nothing in my mind told me that we had anything in the playbook, anything from a backyard play to get us down in field goal range with 13 seconds left. The best part about it was, like you said, game management on the timeouts. We didn't use them. We had them at the end for that to utilize 2 big plays. The best part about the end of a game, trying to manage a clock, is that every single defense knows that you want to get outside to stop the clock. So the middle is always open, which is why we ran that little quick screen, Tyreek up the middle for 19-20, which is why Kelce had the skinny post, quick for another 20. But the bad thing about that, just like Dallas showed the week before, you got to know how to utilize the clock. Well, we did. That's the best part about it. Other than that, I sat here on this table, and when they scored a touchdown, and I saw the celebration between Josh Allen's family, the tears and the joy. I was sitting here in disgust. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I thought we lost that game. I'd be lying to everybody if I said the 13 seconds. I don't care who's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Nobody would have told me that we would have came back and won the game. For one, it's not just getting you in field position. That's a lot of pressure on Bucker just to make that from 48 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So to even get in the position, it's not even about getting the touchdown. I knew we couldn't get a touchdown with 13 seconds. It's about just getting yourself in position to have Bucker to make this kick. Bucker's been phenomenal for us this year, but Bucker's not the best kicker in the game. I think he even had a couple misses a game, right, Marcus?
Absolutely.
Miss field goal and miss extra point.
They said he was like, I think, rated number 2. I think somebody say it.
Yeah, he's rated number 2.
Again, JD, you've already missed 2 during the game. To hang that to get down there, I know you're shaking your head, but I'm just saying my belief. I did not sit here. I can't say I sat here and watched and said we're going to come back and win this game or we're going to come back and tie this game up. No. But I was amazed and mind blown to see the performance of Josh Allen under pressure after every single down. The dude stepped up to the plate and made it happen. I was amazed to see how we bounced back as the Chiefs after everything that they threw at us, and we were able to come back and score. We were able to come back and get the field goal. We kept that momentum, went into overtime. They gave us the ball, which was a mistake. Well, I guess we won the coin flip. And so we went down and got the touchdown we needed. And so it was just one of those games that was just completely mind blown for me. Never seen anything like it. I've never seen that amount of time give a team a win because it's never happened.
I think in sports, the only thing that I can think of that comes this close to this is Ali versus Frazier. Like to see two teams that just literally beat each other to oblivion, play after play, snap after snap, and it wouldn't stop. And it just wouldn't stop. And you're just like, how can they keep on coming at each other, play after play? So, I mean, this is definitely going to go down in history. This has got to be, I mean, if this game next week can live up to it, I don't know, the Super Bowl might be boring compared to this, this next week. Yeah, I don't know how the Super Bowl can beat these two, the next game and this last one.
Because even in a prevent defense, D. Clem, prevent. We want them to catch the ball and we make the tackle. Clock runs out.
Right.
If they catch the ball on a 20-yard pass, make the tackle. Make the tackle and clock runs out. So in no form of, I guarantee Buffalo's got to be sitting there like, what could we have done? You run the unexpected at us. That's basically what it was. We got the unexpected because 99% of the time, offenses have to get outside. That's why the outsides are usually open for the quick routes and get outside because that middle is going to give you too much.
Because normally the middle was running too much time. But having those 3 timeouts, that gave Andy Reid the whole field to use.
Exactly. Right. Who in their right mind thinks a screen is going to give you quick 20 yards and 6 seconds off of a clock, 5 seconds off of a clock? Right here. Offense. He ain't no fucking way you said. Hold
on. See, this is what y'all don't understand on defense. Hold on. This is what y'all don't understand on defense, right? See, y'all defensive guys, I'm gonna give y'all a little nugget right now, okay? You see this right here? You see what this says? It says last plays. I don't know if it's or not. Okay.
Where's the tambourine at? Get the tambourine.
And it probably says in there too, big in bold blocks, Hail Mary.
No. So I'm gonna tell you how many plays we got. Okay. I'm not gonna show the plays. I'm gonna show how many plays we got at the end to get yards. Okay. This is what you don't know because you're on defense, right? That's what y'all think in defense room. Offensive room, we always thinking about scoring. We just thinking about getting in position to kick a field goal. And so when I told you he's got 13 seconds, I know there's plays out there that we're thinking about getting chunks. That's just how we do it. We practice it every day, every week, E. It's the same thing and no difference than y'all do. And so when I'm sitting there thinking about it offensively, they gave us the best scenario putting in prevent defense, right? To me, you know what I don't really understand defensively, what you don't do is why they don't not put somebody on the point man to kind of stop those guys from going down the field. That's what I don't understand. Like, at least if you're going to rush 3 or 4, put somebody on the point man just to make those guys, push them back, throw off the timing of it, right? That's what you want to be able to do. So here's 1 play. Here's 2 plays. Here's 3 plays. Here's 4 plays. Here's 5 plays. There's 5 plays that we got to get chunks to get us in the position in the scenario. I'm telling you.
2-minute offense.
No, it's not. Look, I'm telling you, it's a whole different section. You don't understand it, E. You're not in the offensive room. I'm just telling you, when you're sitting over saying that tells me you have never played offense in the NFL. I'm just telling you what these guys are thinking about. And when I'm talking about Andy Reid, when you have Tyreek Hill and you have Travis Kelce, it's the same thing. We'll go to scenario with Dak Prescott, right? Dak Prescott with the Dallas game, there was 2 things he could have done. He could have thrown that pass down the middle, which was probably the better play, was throwing the quick pass down the middle, as opposed to him catching it, losing 2 seconds, and then running. If he slid a bit earlier, they would have been in a position to have the last play at the end zone. That's just the reality of it. I don't think it was a bad play in itself. Just the whole transition about getting the ball back to the referee and all that was just a debacle in itself.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you sit over and you're looking at Travis Kelce knew that the middle of the field was open. Tyreek Hill, being the fastest guy that he is, you catch the ball, he's going 25 yards immediately. You're giving it up to him. Why not take it? Why not take it? Right? You don't have to throw like a Hail Mary from back then. Everybody's thinking about that. And so it was almost the same thing. People was talking about, why didn't they squib kick it? Well, you squib kick it, okay?
It's easy for us to sit back here and analyze what we saw. In that moment, JD, no.
Listen, I'm telling you, we work on these scenarios all the time.
Okay, I get
it's going to work.
Just saying.
You're going to give yourself a chance. And so when I'm thinking offensively, you got 13 seconds. You're always giving yourself a chance. You ain't got to score. You just got to get in the range that Buckner has a shot, right? I don't care if it's a 60-yarder or 63-yarder. We've seen Tucker make 63 yards, right? What's I don't even know what's the
Vinatieri's.
I think Tucker beat it this year, right? Tucker had one.
The one in the Lions game, I think it was like 66 or 65. It was something
like that, right?
Yeah, but that was indoors too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they just talking about just having a chance. That's all you're looking for, is an opportunity, just a chance. And so when you're thinking offensively in the mind, it's the same thing defensively when you're thinking about it, kind of getting on overtime rules. Man, just keep them from getting a touchdown. Hold them to 3 yards, 3 points, so you get the ball back, right? And so you're trying to get the best case scenario. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're hopeful for.
I get what you're trying with the analyst of it, JD. I get what you're explaining. But just sitting here at my couch and watching that game,
right?
No way I thought we were going to tie that.
I'm a believer that Andy Reid has a play for everything. I believe Andy Reid has a play for every single scenario. And somehow that team is prepared for every single scenario. It's almost like they know how to win better than anybody else. And that's the difference.
I'm a fan these out like money. You know how you fan money out? I'm a fan these things out like money. These are money plays. That's what these things are, money plays.
The wrong kind of money there.
Do those plays like factor in having timeouts? Because generally at the end of the game, a team doesn't have timeouts. So they usually playing for going out of bounds. We have the luxury to go to the middle of the field.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's what D. Clem said. So that's what D. Clem said. That's the best. It was best because it was best usage of clock management.
Absolutely.
And you never want to lose a game with 3 timeouts left.
Right.
No.
Like what the hell are you doing?
Right. It's bleak. Look, if you ain't got no timeouts in that scenario, I get it. I get that part of it. Right.
I thought Spag should have called that timeout. Did you see right before they threw that last touchdown? They looked like they were confused in the secondary. And I was like, man, why are we calling the timeout? And then they hiked the ball. But I was like, man, what? I thought we should have burned the timeout right there.
Right. You're right. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you.
Because they looked like they had no clue of who they were guarding.
No idea. What's the name? It goes out there to get the tight end, get on Knox, and so he bumps everybody else back down, right? And so what they end up doing, Snead didn't get in position. He had bad leverage. It was bad leverage on that play. So it just, like you said, they did. They was discombobulated. They was trying to talk. Somebody immediately should have called a timeout. They should have. No doubt. I agree with you on that one, 100%.
Now, if we burn that timeout, are we in a totally different situation in that last 13 seconds?
You still got 2 timeouts, though.
Yeah, you got time. You got 2 left.
Yeah.
Do you think a squib would have made much difference?
That would have been real close. That 3 or 4 seconds.
Right. It's the same thing. You squib.
8 seconds is a lot different than 13.
Yeah, but if you catch the ball quick and get some yardage, that could be still like where Tyreek made it, on the first play. And so it's still like that scenario. If they still leave that open, that's why when people say, oh, you squib kick it, well, you got to make sure the squib's right. And if you squib, sometimes that ball bounces, that joker bounce out of bounds.
Yeah, you get a lot of extra yardage in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they were more worried about that, us getting some kind of return or being able to pick it up and turn it into something.
You don't want that old Deshaun Jackson play to come back and bite you in the ass.
Absolutely not. Because, I would have been a little puckered too about kicking it back there to who was back there, Tyreek?
I'm pretty sure we put Tariq back there. We had to, especially as hot as he was.
Yeah, I would have been a little bit puckered too about putting the ball in Tyreek's hand on the last kickoff.
Look, man, kicking it deep like that, 13 seconds. Like I said, that wasn't a bad call on their part. You just stop them defensively.
It just wasn't Buffalo's day. Like it wasn't last year, and it's not this year. What do you call it? We are top of the mountain.
Absolutely.
Buffalo's got to come through us. Everybody AFC got to come through us right now.
Can we say we own Buffalo?
Huh?
Can we say we own Buffalo?
We own them. Debo, give me your mic, punk.
Yeah.
Just like Frisco owns Green Bay.
And again, like I hate that. So not even to get off our subject of Chiefs and Cincinnati, like that whole Lambeau Field, man. Everybody's all, traditional stadiums and stuff, man. Put a dome on that place. Y'all keep saying how the weather helps Green Bay. No, it doesn't. You had a warm weather team come in there and smack y'all in the snow. Mm-hmm. So it ain't got nothing to do with the weather. Go ahead and put a dome out there. Let those folks enjoy the game with their kids and the comfort of something nice.
People in Wisconsin, they actually like that being out there in that crap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I played in Minnesota, and I'm so glad when we played in the dome. But the guys that played before me in the old open Metrodome, I couldn't have imagined playing out there in the Metrodome in 14 degrees for like 8 weeks straight. Like, I'm like,
but it's what they have. Those, you know what, D. Clem, I won't even say they enjoy it. It's what they have, and it's what they're accustomed to. Just like in Kansas City, just like in KC, we're gonna fill up seats no matter what. It could be 0 degrees, it could be 100 degrees. Our fans are gonna come out. But if a dome is there, I guarantee they're gonna enjoy the luxury of what that dome brings.
Yeah, nowadays you should be in the dome. I agree, Eric. Just because of the fan base, you got to just keep people happy.
But you know what else it is? It's the psychological part of it too, right? Because remember that I forgot what it was that Bill Belichick did, but I think he made the locker room real cold for the opposing team. He
painted the locker room pink.
Yeah. Oh, okay. See, yeah. So to them, it's a psychological advantage. That's all it is. Tradition and psychological advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't work for him.
I mean, but Belichick's always had the better team too.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Belichick and Brady always had the best team.
Yeah, it's starting to look like Belichick's a little hollow without Brady, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have the best team when you cheat.
Well, hey, they continue winning now.
Hard enough.
They continue winning.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Good.
No, I was gonna say I know we're talking about the offensive aspect of the game, but kind of something that Chiefs Kingdom on Twitter has been kind of saying is, what does the defense kind of do this week against Cincinnati? Last time we gave up about 500 yards. This past week we gave up a lot of yards to the number 2 receiver, Gabriel Davis. And some are saying is that because Mathieu was out of this game from the get-go, and that's the reason why we give up the amount of yards to Gabriel Davis and the Bills.
Man, he's an unexpected. Diggs is the man for Buffalo, and we went in to shut Diggs down and hopefully to not let Josh Allen get on fire the way he did. But the dude stepped up to the plate and did what he had to for his team. Outside of that, Davis just came out of nowhere and had a fabulous game at the end of the game. I think it was all in the second half and the fourth quarter where he got his 200 yards at. Now,
Eric,
for us,
the secondary is taking too much heat for this game. The D-line did not contain Josh Allen. They took poor angles all day long. They came underneath and let him loft contain a million times. They gave up both A-gaps a million times. I mean, they were sloppy.
I agree. Mm-hmm. And again, so I think that, well, I'm pretty sure that we've studied enough film of our last game against Cincy, of our game against Tennessee to understand who Jamar Chase is and who Joe Burrow is. Now, if we go out there and we're in a 3rd and 27 and Spags causes an all-out blitz again, fire his ass on the spot. But mistakes will be corrected. Jamar Chase will not have 200-plus yards. Joe Burrow is going to make plays. I just take my hat off to him just like I do with Josh Allen. The dude's a phenomenal quarterback. He's going to make plays. It's just a matter of us as a defensive unit keeping that to a minimum.
Yeah, we just can't give up touchdowns. You can get yards. We can't give up touchdowns. I don't care if you drive the ball 98, 99 yards. We got to stop touchdowns.
Yeah. Look, I think we always, when I was telling this to a guy earlier today, we forget that we had the game handily won at the half. We was up 28-17. Actually went in, scored on a kickoff return that would have put us up 35.
Yeah, I think we did. The segment was like we took our foot off the gas.
Well, yeah. Well, we only had the ball 3 times in the second half. That was it. We have 3 possessions in the second half. I mean, we were whooping them up and down the field, man, the first half of the game, man. It wasn't even close. And so if you think about it, what they did, Jamar Chase was like one of those things like, look, we ain't got nothing to lose. Let's throw Jamar Chase. Hey, let him work out. And so I hope, and I see what you're talking about, E. So if we start Jamar Chase, we can't let those other guys beat us. And the same thing with Diggs. Now, the thing is, Davis he's been playing good the last few games anyway. He was on fire. He was probably the second best leading receiver in the past like 5 weeks. And so
I'm not saying he's a nobody. I apologize if it came up that way.
Yeah. No, so you can't let Boyd, you can't let Higgins, don't let them get on fire either. So when you look at what you do against Joe Burrows, it's the same thing. You got to hit home. If you're doing pressure, they got to go get back there. They have to. They got to get on him to make sure that they are disrupting his timing and the routes and everything that you possibly can. And the thing is, here's one good thing we got. If we got a good crew that allows the secondary to play aggressive, like we did this last game, it'll be a whole different game. And I think because all the plays, like the holding call, all that pass interference against them, kept them in the game. You know what I'm saying? Even at the end. I mean, we stopped them on 4th down, twice, 2 or 3 times at the end? And it was that one in the end zone of Holden. They got him in. So I ain't really worried about them. Like you said, Jamar Chase, you stop him. Don't let the other guys eat like that. Get some pressure on Joe Burrows. Stop Joe Mixon. And I think, man, we'll whoop these dudes at least by 10 to 14 points. Easy.
Wow.
Did you guys notice that we weren't running to the ball on defense?
On defense?
Did you guys pick up on that? Did you see how many times we just guys were loafing? And it's like one guy, he's gonna make the play, and guys just started jogging. Like I saw Frank loaf at me at least 3 or 4 times. I mean, I just saw guys not run to the ball. Whereas we just got to bring that tenacity.
That one first play where he caught, I think he broke for 60, maybe 70 yards, and he was surrounded by the Chiefs player, and he just breaks out of the pack and outruns everybody. Yeah, that's poor hustle.
Yeah,
it's got to get back to that Florida State college mentality. We got 11 guys running to the ball every freaking play. Mm-hmm. I don't care. Everybody has to get to the ball every single play, and then good things are gonna happen. That ball's gonna come out. You'll get more hats on it.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
How important would you say Mathieu playing this week it is for the team? Just not even playing once, more the leadership on the field. Getting guys in the right position, kind of the communication issues that you referenced, Duane.
Tyrann's always an important piece to our defense. For me, I think that Chris Jones is the leader of the defense. Probably the most valuable part of the defense because we play a whole lot better when he's healthy. But the captain of it to get everything running correctly is with Tyrann Mathieu. And to have him out in a game that crucial against a player like a Josh Allen and a hot Buffalo Bills team, it came to bite us in the ass. And so having him back and healthy, big plus for us. And I just hope that, as JD said, when we got on top of them in the first half, we just got to, bury these guys and to take nothing from them because they're a hungry team. They've accomplished the big feat. They knocked out the number 1 seed in the AFC, and now they're coming for us. So don't take anything for granted.
I think it's gonna be a little different for them in Arrowhead, though. I think. See, the great thing about for them is at home they had a quiet stadium. They could communicate. They can make adjustments. They ain't gonna have that situation at Arrowhead. Making adjustments is gonna be a serious challenge. And that stadium is going to be extra, extra, extra crazy for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently Joe Burrows don't think the noise is it's going to be a problem, right?
I love it when you underestimate that noise.
Yeah.
SEC, don't they? I think they have the most schools with 100 plus 100,000, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's something to to claim that you've accomplished because it can get loud in 100,000 plus.
Well, the whole line didn't play in the SEC. All it takes is one of them not to hear that call.
I agree. Now I'm not comparing the SEC to Kansas City because KC is a different place, man.
Right.
You know they're going. It's like you got to go into the game knowing, okay, we're gonna have some misfires. It's impossible that we're not gonna have some misfires, some miscounts. We got to capitalize off of them. We got to capitalize off that crowd noise, get off the ball, and we got to be just tenacious. If we run to the ball and are tenacious, we can beat these guys. But if we loaf around and we ain't getting off blocks and we just, kind of just blase, all right, it's gonna be a long day. These guys got to get off their blocks and run.
Yeah. And kind of, talking about Tyrann Mathieu, when you're looking at like them like being out of place, Declan, we was just talking about that. Like he's the one that orchestrates everybody where they need to be, right? The communication. And so if you have a guy like that stepping up, that's going to be able to put guys in the right position, then you're always going to be compromised. And so him coming out is going to be astronomically vital to the victory of the game. I really believe that. And so, but I'm going to say this. They talk about maybe Arrowhead, the acoustics or something about Arrowhead in itself is what makes it loud. I think somebody said something like we're under like, I don't know, like 3
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Our field is buried like 15 feet deep and inside of it's almost like a well effect, the way the bowl sits. And that's what kind of makes all the noise come down even louder.
Okay. Yeah. So look, and you're right. Hey, if you off on anything, like just trying to hear it, I'm telling you, just as tight end, I'm on the end and trying to hear that snap count and the changing the plays is always tough. You got to concentrate just like.
Now you got to look at the ball instead of looking at your man or reading your normal key. Everybody has to be looking at the ball. So that's just like a split-second difference when you're away.
Yes. And then you talking about a D line that gets off. If you're getting off, if Chris getting off on that ball, you got to wait too. You're already a second behind, and that we know how it is, man. Your defensive man, the tight end, trying to block. Hey, that is significant. That is absolutely significant.
Yeah, and they gave up a lot of sacks last week. So,
sure.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm like, I know if I was a D lineman, I'm ready to come out of retirement for this one. Like, shit, they like a drive-through window over there. I think 6'2" and a 1.
Yeah, and Burrow can't move like Josh Allen, so the guy should have a field day with that line what Cincinnati has.
Yeah, I definitely think it's gonna be a totally different world for him in this stadium.
Yeah. I think Cincinnati, they on vapors right now. I think they just riding high. They're still on the vapors of like getting to where they are. They happy where they're at right now. You know what I'm saying?
They have good reason, man. You can't knock them for it, But they ran up against the wrong team now.
Did you I love the way the Chiefs seemed so poised the whole game. No matter how adverse the game got, I think our team showed so much poise and just a whole nother level of character, like to not be shook, to not blink, to just go out there just to operate. Like, listen, we know we took a few hits. I'm bleeding. I don't care. I'm gonna still go out there and operate.
Right.
I don't know if the Bengals have that level of maturity yet to be in a fight like this and to take blow after blow after blow and still not get either emotional or make a mistake.
Yeah.
I just think we got to bury him while they're down, man, because I kind of want to agree with that because they showed me a different side of them when we played them the previous game because we were beating them down.
Yeah.
And like JD said, we had the lead. I want to say a couple of touchdowns, and then Tariq makes that play going into halftime. That kind of takes the air out of the tank for them. But Tariq ends up missing the play, the pass. We don't get anything out of it, and it's like they come back. I think we were 3 and out, or they had the ball, and they went down immediately and scored. So it's like they found a way to come back and pull it out.
Absolutely.
So, I can't say they don't have it in them.
And don't you think that jungle crowd helped bring them back? Like, do you think if they didn't have that crowd behind them, that energy, you think they would have still been able to rally?
Oh, no. Without a doubt. They needed that. They needed that. And so, you're going behind enemy lines right here. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Sure. So, man, that is going to be a significant part. Significant dealing with them, man. But
So would you guys agree that Burrow has never seen anything like this before? He could say all the SEC games he's been to and played in. Has he never seen anything like this Arrowhead crowd in the playoffs in this AFC Championship game?
no, higher stakes. Higher stakes, man. Look,
Nothing prepares you for Arrowhead. I played I played for 3 different teams, and there was nothing like being a defensive lineman when that Arrowhead crowd goes up to 115 decibels or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And it's just like you can't even hear yourself. You know they can't hear the snap count.
right.
It's like, let's go.
Yeah. It's like JD said, man, it's higher stakes. Everything matters in this game. Every play matters. There's no, there's no next week. There's no victory Monday. If you lose this one, you got a whole victory off season if you lose this one. So, the stakes are higher. So,
and it's getting, them young boys, man. The season's getting long.
Yeah,
another
this
ladies
17 weeks.
Ain't used to this 24-game season.
Right. Yeah, they ain't used to that at all.
No, this is 2 seasons for them right now.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So I got to imagine some of that youth that might be working against them.
Yeah, that's your former teammate Lawrence Tynes actually said. He said, to be fair, Joe's never played at Arrowhead. He's going to be in for a rude awakening this weekend. So,
yeah,
that's a kicker talking.
How many guys on the Bengals have ever played this many games before? Because obviously the Chiefs have been doing this for the last 4 years.
Right. Yeah, they seasoned. So they've been, like you said, they've been there before. They know what it's like. So
I mean, it's a marathon. So I mean, that attrition is adding up now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that brings us to our final segment here, the game picks. Obviously, we're a 7-point favorite, touchdown favorite, and we're hosting the AFC Championship game at home at 3:00 Eastern Standard Time on CBS. Duane, we'll let you as the guest. We'll let you get your prediction. What's your score, and who do you have winning this game on Sunday?
All right, I got the Chiefs 38-29 or 28.
So my show, we were just on the show last night. That was actually pretty funny. We had to do with some puppets. So I'm gonna stick with my same prediction: 33-21 Chiefs.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go 34-24. That's where I'm at with it.
Okay, so about 8 or 9 points.
Yeah, at least by 10, man. I just I do. They might do a little thing at the end, but it ain't gonna be enough.
Yeah, I just don't see them being effective in our stadium like they were. The firepower they had at home is not going to be equivalent to what the firepower they have on the road.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we just need to put out that flame early for them. They're riding on a natural high right now from a couple of big wins. So
now, JD, being on offense, what do you think about us focusing on pressuring or forcing Joe Burrow to always have to roll away from Chase, like focusing on our pressure to bringing our pressure from Chase's side, so he always has to basically fade away from him?
You can do that. That would be that's definitely, I think, a tactic you can use offensively. The only way you combat it is if you have a guy chip on that side to make sure he captures that edge some way. Maybe have a back. Maybe somebody come in let's get that outside. You know how it is, man. You've had those. Oh yeah. Look. Slow that down so we can capture the edge. Don't let him be a factor. Let him get out there on that side. So that's. I think they'll do a little bit more of that after all those sacks. I think they'll keep a back end just to chip, to kind of give a little bit more protection for Joe Burrow, so he can let those guys eat around him. That's really what you want to do. So
because in the first game they had 5 guys in every route, pretty much the whole game, didn't they?
It was a spread offense.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to match Ward up with him. And I know Ward was on him for a couple of last big plays. He's our best corner. I mean, look at how you want to look at it. He's our best corner, and I think we'll let him travel with Chase as much as we're in man defense, and we'll have a spy on him with Tyrann Mathieu. That's kind of my belief.
Okay, I was going to say we'll give him some help, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if you let him catch the ball for 20 yards. Just don't let him score touchdowns.
Right. Right.
I mean, you can give up some chunks.
Yeah.
Just don't give them 6.
Yeah. Don't let him go off. Don't let him do that now.
Yeah. I mean, if you got to play out 5-6 yards, I mean, shit, just like what they do with Tyreek. Keep him in front of you and just try to get it rally to the ball. If everybody runs to the ball and keeps him in front of you, eventually we can get the ball out. Somebody's going to hit him, but we can't let him get behind us.
Yeah.
And last game, they actually made more of an emphasis on T. Higgins, and then Chase kind of blew up that game. They kind of had shadowed Higgins because he had a big week the week before, and then going into that game, we shadowed him, and then Chase blew up. So I guess we'll hopefully we'll
but Chase is still his number one target every game.
Yeah. I would much rather take away Chase and deal with the aftermath of Higgins and making some big plays because I don't think he has the finish that Chase has.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Chase.
And we'll see. The over-under for the game is 54.5. All of you guys have the over in that one based on the scores. So probably not as big of an offensive explosion as last week, but probably somewhere around there.
That damn Kawika called 42 points and hit it on the head.
I was amazed at that. Absolutely amazed. Sure. How many points were scored in the last 2 minutes of the game, wasn't it? Something like it was
a lot.
Yeah, it was like
26 or 28.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
He called it though.
Yeah, and you went undefeated last weekend.
4-0. I called all of them.
Okay, I'm gonna check this. I'm gonna go back and watch it. I thought you said Tampa Bay was gonna win. You said Tampa Bay was gonna beat?
Yeah, in LA.
Okay.
So go the NFC side to round it off here before we head out. Who do you guys have in the NFC Championship matchup?
Rams.
Side.
Yeah, I think LA's gonna take. It's time for San Fran's flame to get put out, and it's time for Cincy's flag to get a little flame to get put out.
Yeah, I think Frisco's gonna run out of gas. I think they played so physical for so long. I just don't know if they got enough bullets left to play that rough game that they played.
They're just like Cincinnati. They won a game against the Rams that they probably shouldn't have won. And then they come right back and they beat, a Green Bay team that everybody thought was the best thing out there, and they knocked them off. And so I feel the same way about what Cincy's done. Cincy got a big win against us, and then they come back and they knock off the number 1 seed in the AFC, was Tennessee. So right now, both teams are riding on a natural high that they're not even supposed to be here. But I think
that crown is heavy.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That'd be 2 years in a row we play if you guys are right, that'd be 2 years in a row we play the home team of the Super Bowl. Last year Tampa, this year LA.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts.
But we don't even know yet because the hell, LA might not even. They might shut down the city because of COVID. They might come down.
Is that still in play?
I don't know. I know there was topic because the move was going to be here to Dallas if LA shut down.
Wow, they talked. I thought California had been doing as far as like mitigating everything. I thought they've been doing a good job as far as keeping everybody. You know what I'm saying?
They have some college teams right now that are playing with no fans.
In California? Dang, I didn't know that. God, that would be crazy. That would be horrible.
Yeah. I guarantee if they're going to say you're doing anything, you come in the stadium and stuff, you got to show your vaccination card. You got to make sure, maybe even like a negative test.
Yeah, to me.
But they need it, though, man, because shit, look at everybody. Tesla's gone. I don't know where Facebook is located, but everything's leaving California. So that's a big money boost if they get the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. LA, look, California always going to have money.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
We'll see about that. And obviously, Duane, I don't know if you're going to be on for the Super Bowl show, but we'd love to have you back. But if it's LA and Kansas City, who would you have in the Super Bowl?
KC, baby, all the way. I think it's always going to be KC. I'm a believer.
KC 100.
Awesome. Duane, it was awesome having you on, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by, Joy Chief Concerns. And again, Duane, definitely plug your company again here, so we get that in before the show ends.
All right. My company is Urbana Spine and Wellness, and we specialize in non-invasive, drug-free healthcare.
Get in touch with him at
301-841-5191, or just remember www.urbanaspineandwellness.com.
now spell Urbana.
Urbana.
Got it.
Fantastic.
Well, look, you got a client. I'm coming up to come see you, big brother. You know what I'm saying?
Grab all the fellas, man. Let's make it a guys week out of it.
Sounds good. I'm with it. I'm with it 100%, man.
Thanks for tuning in to Chief Concerns presented by BetOnline. We'll see you next week, and hopefully we're talking Super Bowl.
Now here is bonus content.
That's that big bull right there.
Check.
Check that mic. Check that mic.
What's up, D? Hey, D. Clem. What's up, homie?
Hey man, where you been at, homie?
Man, shoot, man. I've been chilling, man. Still out here in the backwoods of Kentucky. You know.
Oh, wow. You all the way back. You coaching now, right?
Well, I was.
Okay.
And I'm actually, I'm talking about here, but there's some opportunities now to kind of coach. You know, but this COVID kind of thing, man, kind of came up and kind of got out of it. But I was kind of pushing a little bit more for my Dunn for Kids thing. You know, kind of going to high schools and stuff and just talking to kids about the new transition from like leaving from high school, going into college. And man, it was a need just that pushing that information. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I can imagine, man. It sounds so complicated. I'm an outsider. I'm so glad my kids are done with school and I ain't got to deal with all this. Like, man, it seems like you need a whole degree just to figure out all this new stuff.
Yeah, man.
How old is your oldest, D?
My oldest is 28. My youngest is 23.
Oh, okay.
Shit, shoot. All my kids got jobs. They live out.
Yeah.
They live out of state.
Now tell me, did you move back to city limits? Or you still out on the outskirts?
I'm in Maryland now.
Okay.
On the outskirts. Frederick is about 45 minutes from DC and 45 minutes from Baltimore, so I'm right in the middle.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So I know Marcus is out in that area somewhere.
Yeah, you know, I see Dante all the time because he's up in Philly and Jersey all the time. So it was kind of cool this year. I got to see Dante at the Chiefs game, the Baltimore game, the Washington game, and I got to see him at the Philly game. So it was almost like we had a home field advantage out here on the East Coast this year.
Yeah, that was the crazy part, man, because everything was up there, like you said, in the NFC East. You know, like you got Washington, Philly. I missed both those games. I wanted to come to the Washington one. And then, of course, man, I just, you know,
I'm kicking myself now. I should have drove the 7 hours and went to Cincinnati because that's only 7 hours from where I live now, too. And then, now we end up playing them again. And I'm not going to, the only reason I'm not going to the AFC Championship is because I'm already bought tickets to the Super Bowl. Since I know one way or another, one of the teams I play for is going to be there.
Yeah.
Good thinking. Yeah.
And I got to
go. You got the toys in the background.
Plus, as you know, I'm from the West Coast, so I got to be out there when they pull that Lola out there at halftime, going crazy.
I was going to say.
Oh, man.
I see you got the toys in the background, man.
Oh, yeah. I get down with that snow, man. I love that snow. I love that snow more than you, Eric.
You ever done it, JD?
I've never done snowboarding. No, matter of fact,
or skiing.
No, but I ain't gonna get on two sticks.
Yeah, you can. You got bad knees. I know them.
Yeah,
I just couldn't.
D. Clem.
Yo,
this is one thing that I won't say I hate, but it kind of disappoints me with our culture.
Yeah,
we get so stuck in our own ways. We look down upon or we're scared of trying other things.
Absolutely.
Like why wouldn't you try skiing, JD?
Because skiing, I was in a very high impactful sport for a long time, and I know how falling down feels. I know what actually tumbling.
It ain't that bad though.
Yeah, look, listen, hey man, look, I need as much as my joints and stuff intact as possible. Okay. And I'm like, be clear. Look, I'm not opposed to doing things outside our culture, not at all, right? Like I said, look, I live here in Kentucky. There's a lot of things we do on lakes, skiing and stuff like that. But the things I see on snow, talking about hitting trees and all that, man, all these, man, I just heard so much stuff.
JD, there's not even a lot of trees though. That's when you go into the more advanced stuff.
Yeah, you gotta start slow, Jay. But I feel you, JD. I don't like skiing because I don't like the idea of my legs, to go two different directions. I like snowboarding because everything is intact. Now you can slam and hit your head or slam and hit your ass real hard, but your knees and your feet are gonna be right where you want them to be.
But D. Clem, you at least gave skiing a chance, though, right?
I've actually never skied. I went snowboarding first, and then every time I went back, I got so good at snowboarding that every time I go back, I never wanted to go buy new equipment because I bought everything. I bought my snowboard, I bought my gear. So that's the other thing. It's very cost prohibitive to try to switch and do both to go good at, because I got like 2 snowboards now, 2 sets of bindings, 2 bags, 2 pairs of boots.
Yeah. See, and look, I'm not opposed to doing things. Like I said, there's certain things I'm just not gonna do. My brother skis. He goes skiing. I just won't do it. He's like, oh, look. I'm like, nah, brother. You know what? I'm not with it. I'm not gonna jump out no plane. I'm not gonna do one of those little slingshot things.
Let's jump out the plane, man. I'm with that X-Camera stuff.
Oh yeah. Ooh, boy. Yeah. Hey, look, you are. Well,
I jumped out the stratosphere in Las Vegas. I'm gonna send you a video of that.
Oh yeah, please do. No, sir. I couldn't do it. Well, I'll tell you what, the one thing I did zip lining over in Puerto Rico. And I never thought I would do it. And I had my kids with me, and my daughter, my middle child, she was just like, Dad, I don't want to do it. I said, look, baby. I said, I'll do it if you do it. Okay? I said, you got to go. I got to do it, man. I was in the back. Look, I was in the back in the car. You know how you putting your stuff, get your gear ready? And I had the BGs, the bubble guts the whole time I was sitting over, and I was just, I was hoping, that I was going to be over the weight limit. That you couldn't even right.
I'm pretty sure you changed your drawers right after you got off.
Me? It was good. Yeah, it was all air. It was all air coming out. That's all it was. Just all air.
Well, I would hope that zip line has at least a 10,000-pound weight limit, so you ain't nowhere near that weight limit.
If
I was anywhere close to the weight limit, I don't think I would get on it. It's like, okay, I want to know I got some extra room in case some wind kick in.
Well, the dude that was in front of me, man, was a paratrooper. And so he made me feel really, really good about it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, look, man, I jumped out of plane several times. He said, man, this right here ain't nothing. He said, matter of fact, what I'll do, I'll go in front of you. So when you come in, he said, I know you're going to be coming in hot. He said, I'll be down there to catch you. I said, all right, cool. I said, if you're doing it and you telling me it's all right, I'm going to trust you. A guy that's been jumping out of planes for years, that's the guy I need. So
there you go. Got a battle buddy, huh?
That's right. Yeah. Had to.
JD always was good at making friends, man.
Well, man. Hey, look, I got it. Hey, especially in a high situation like that, I'm gonna try to make as many friends as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're diving with sharks. Can we go diving with sharks? In the cage or out the cage?
In the cage. Out the cage? Oh man, come on. No, sir. That's dangling meat out there, man.
All right, so that scares me more because that he controls that ocean. me falling on the snow or avoiding a tree, that's on me. Like I can avoid it. But me in that ocean with something that controls the ocean.
You got to believe, man. It's all in here, though. You got to control that shark.
I mean, but I've been swimming in the ocean. I'm just saying, but like to just go and actually swim with the sharks while I know where they're at.
Yeah, be looking eyeball to eyeball. Like, what you want to do?
Nah.
You flexing on it like what?
Cage though. When you eat, you do cage.
They give you a little zapper. They give you a little zapper.
Oh,
if I'm in a cage, yeah, I'll do
it. You don't want to get out there and feed them free hand?
Nah, brother, man, it ain't happening that way.
Have you done that before?
I haven't. I've scuba dived several times before. I haven't actually fed them free hand. But I've been out there with him. I've been out there with some pretty big fish.
Okay.
You know, what's actually scarier is like when you're out there and like whales come by. Because the whales are interested in you, and that's like the scary part. Like when a whale is like, you know, it's like, whoa, that is just like unnerving to see something that large. I don't care if it's not gonna eat you. You just feel like, damn, that is a lot of animal.
Yeah, he can just open his mouth and you disappear.
Yeah, you like he might accidentally suck me into a vent or something on the side of his body.
Yeah, it put it into perspective, man. Like, I mean, a big creature like that can't get out of the way. I mean, and I look at those videos all the time. Those videos where they smack or they jump up in the water and just, I mean, it's crazy.
And they're just playing. You just cannon fodder out there.
Yeah. Now I tell you what. I tell you the one creature, the orca, joking right there, and killer whales. Woo, man. They beautiful creatures, man. But
it's too cold to be out there with Ed.
Yeah, right.
I don't know who would be out there swimming with them, but that's the one animal I would definitely, okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
him down.
leave him alone.
Him down. Because they will
leave him alone. So man, what you doing in life? I know you said you got something big going on, and I know I keep up with you on Instagram, so I see a few of the things that you're involved with, but you know, fill your boys in.
So the number one thing, and I think Eric, you probably remember this, and I think JD, you might remember this. Remember when I broke my pelvis and I hurt my knee, and I started getting into that equipment with the sucking machine.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the beginning of my whole re-education of how I basically took care of my body for the rest of my career.
So you created a sucking machine?
I didn't create it. The guy created it is from France. He brought it over here, and they brought it to the Chiefs Stadium one day, and they tested it out on Trent Green, because he had knee surgery.
So Trent got sucked up by it?
Yeah. So Trent was feeling much better. He's like, man, he did this thing.
Man, I'm messing with y'all that little part. I'm just being
yeah, with the whole sucking thing.
Yeah, sucked up.
You know, look, hey, you know, Eve's mine. You know who it is. Yeah, Ward's all, you know.
So after I got Trent out the machine, I got in the machine.
Yeah, we got to edit that so Trent's wife don't catch that part.
Oh yeah, she got a good sense of humor by now. So she'd have been close to some locker room talk. But once I got into that machine, man, it basically, the rest of my career, I never really had any more injuries. And then I started buying more equipment, and I started getting certified in all these different therapies. And I became a helo worker. I became an dermotherapist, and now I do spinal decompression. And over the last 20 years, I've amassed this kind of huge knowledge of non-invasive drug-free healthcare. And all these things I've been using on my clients for the last decade and helping people basically avoid back surgery, knee surgery, shoulder surgery. And so I've been working with a bunch of organizations, one of them, Centers of America, trying to bring this to the forefront. And just recently, they kind of honored me with this 20-year award for being it. I didn't even realize that I had been doing this for 20 years. But now we're making a documentary about basically how to take care of your body non-invasively, drug-free as an athlete, pre-career, post-career, and during career, because we're basically trying to teach people like, hey, you got to be in the business of your body from day one. The day you start being an athlete, you know, the first time you picked up a ball, we should have started learning about flexibility, nutrition, you know, how to clean your, you know, basically how to take care of your body from the inside out, you know, doing hyperbaric chambers, oxygen therapy, all the different things that we have now in our hands that we don't really do, at least it's not standard. But I know guys like Tom Brady, guys like LeBron James, they've embraced this whole culture, and that's why they're able to play forever. That's why they have somebody that full time takes care of their body, almost like a NASCAR. When they come off that practice court, they got somebody stretching them. They got an acupuncturist, they got a chiropractor, they got their trainer, they got the nutritionist, they got the whole team of people basically who are the best at what they do as practitioners, constantly maintaining their body so they can always be at their best. And that's why they don't get injured. That's why they don't miss games. And so I'm kind of basically putting this documentary talking about this whole process and applying it to, like, you know, these new athletes, but also just regular people. You know, you might be a roofer. You might be a plumber, you might be a UPS man, but they're still work athletes. They get the same injuries they have. They tear cells, they tear muscles, they get back surgeries, hip surgeries. And it's kind of like this opioid epidemic has kind of brought also that to the forefront, that we got to start doing things that don't involve drugs, things that don't involve cutting people open, because now there's ways to fix it without doing the stem cell surgery, stem cells. There's so many things, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. There's so many ways to heal the body non-invasively and drug-free, but it's just not standard care, and insurance doesn't cover it. So we're going to be basically kind of showing this whole new process of how to do this. And the cool thing is we're going to do a docu-series after that, taking people down to, how we used to go to training camp?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine every 90 days you came down there, every 90 days you came down to this beautiful house, stayed in 10,000 square foot mansion where we had all this equipment laid out, and you did a 3 or 4 day boot camp where from twice a day, that's all we were doing, working on flexibility, mobility. We were doing colonics, cleaning your body out. We had a nutritionist on site. We were basically addressing every part of your health, cellular, muscular, joint. We had a chiropractor, but basically for those 3 or 4 days, we did 2 a days, but instead of beating your body to shit, we were actually repairing it, going through from head to toe. We're going to look at your toes, your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your pelvis, your psoas, and just your spine, and literally go through every single group, your head, even down to your fingers, and say, basically, we're going to address every single issue, connective tissue, fascia, anything that's misaligned, anything that's inflamed. We're going to talk about diet, every possible way, your sleep habits. We're going to make sure you're sleeping deeper. We're going to put you in position. We're going to basically address your whole health lifestyle, and kind of basically, this is what we want to do with different people from different walks of life every few weeks. And every 90 days, every 60 days, every 30 days, people are going to be in some kind of routine where they come down for 3 or 4 days, and that's going to be a new lifestyle for them, that they're always resetting and regenerating their body.
Brother, I'll tell you what, man. Look, I'm all for that, 100%. Really. And my question is this. Matter of fact, I'll say this. I remember the first time you told me, you was the first one to say something about a colon cleanse. You know what I mean? And you was like, JD, look, man. He was like, man, I lost so much weight, how much stuff just was in me doing a colon cleanse. I want to know, and every time I hear somebody talk about a colon cleanse, I always think of you, like, man, D. Clan was on this a long time ago talking about these things. I mean, seriously.
It used to take me my whole Tuesday. I used to go to an acupuncturist, a colonoscopist, an herbalist, a chiropractor. I had like 18 different people I used to have to go see in that 24-hour Tuesday to stay right. And then I just realized, like, imagine if you had all this stuff in one place, all this stuff and all the practitioner, all the skills, and you could just do this for 3 days straight every 90 days. How different would your life be over the next decade?
Right. Dude, I'm trying to understand, and maybe you talk to the NFL, NFLPA, to talk about these things, these alternative medications, a little bit more natural things we can use to heal the body. Because I remember sometimes there's always a pushback, and I don't really want to go into detail, but you remember Doc M, Marty, and those guys just come in and do the massage, and then Doc M was one of those guys who they would keep to the side. Yeah. And it was almost like they didn't really respect that alternative medicine in itself. But guys would get results from it. When he come in like the laser on the knees and the acupuncture and stuff like that. I remember, look, and a guy that battled back problems, I didn't mind being a guinea pig for any of those things, right? Because to me, it was always about getting back on the field. It was about feeling better. It was about getting that information and stuff out of your body. And I'm just wondering if you had a conversation with the NFL as far as like talking to them about partnering up, with guys, former athletes and stuff like that.
I tried to do it when I was in the NFL. I don't know if you guys remember this, but the Chiefs finally relented and got 2 of those machines my last year there. But remember, I bought that first machine there because the trainers were sitting there like, man, this is $24,000 or it's $30,000. And I don't know, you and Trent, you both got up, started running around. And the real reason is that their feelings were hurt because me and Trent were both limping around. We got off that table and all of a sudden we're running around. So in his mind, this machine is going to take my job. This machine, I don't understand how this machine works. I don't want to take the time to learn how this machine works. Whereas we're results as a player, I don't care how I get to the end zone. So long, if it gets me back on that field, I don't care how it works. I'm going to figure out how it works, and I'm going to get to the machine. So I literally told the trainers, all right, we'll get out of my way. I'm going to go buy the machine. And we went out to the parking lot, and he put in my car and set up my training regimen the next day. And it took almost a year and a half before they started finally buying one. I had like 10 or 15 guys coming to my house every night using that machine.
Yeah.
And they were feeling so much better. When Dante hurt his ankle, Trent was using them. And all these guys were at my house, and I'm like, dude, don't get mad at me because guys are coming to me using my equipment when you could go. You telling me you can't spend $30,000? The Chiefs ain't got $30,000 in the budget?
Come on, man. Who you
Come
telling?
on, man.
Right.
You got
I mean, you got
roster.
yeah.
Like, you're gonna buy a Ferrari, but you're gonna treat it like take it to Jiffy Lube.
Right.
It's
Right.
Like, spending the money on the right maintenance tools. It's like we should have had spinal decompression. We should have had cold laser. We should have had, infrared tables. We should have had all that stuff. We were working with just cold tubs, ice, and drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. Man, that's so true.
And that's why our careers were so much shorter than they could be. But the thing is now, like JD, I really want you to come down because I remember how bad your leg was. I could probably take 15 years of damage off you in like just a couple of days. And that's the thing. I've learned this new technique, and we've mastered this whole new technique where I can literally strip years of damaged fascia out of your body in a matter of days or even a few hours, depending on how much time I have and how bad you are. Trauma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like you can still play.
I mean, if I really want, if I really wanted to actually train that hard, physically I don't have any issues, but I just don't have the want to be in condition and to have the muscularity and the physicality to be out there with them boys.
Gotcha. I mean, all the stuff that you huh?
I got 3 plays in me though.
Okay. At least, hey, there you go. Claire, you get your one, won't you? I know you get at least one.
Then that monkey gonna get on my back. Off this.
Yeah, all that stuff that you're doing, man, you ought to be able to still go out there and get more than 3 plays, man.
Absolutely. Well, the cool thing is I can rollerblade. I can ride motorcycles. I still snowboard. I don't feel limited in any capacity. And I've had 12 orthopedic surgeries. So to be able to walk away from this game with as much trauma as I had, and I don't have a single problem. My knees don't hurt. My ankles don't hurt. My feet don't hurt. My hands don't hurt.
That's what's up.
The thing is, I'm helping people every single day. And I want to help more guys in the NFL, but it's so hard because they're controlled by the medical doctors. And they don't, what's their motivation to have less patients? They get paid by surgeries. They get paid every time they prescribe us pills. They get paid for all those rudimentary PT treatments that we do, whether they're effective or not. So what's their motivation to basically bring in all this equipment that's going to basically keep us out of their office and out of their hands?
They say money's never in the cure, right? Money's never in the cure. And so,
absolutely.
Yeah, let's continue to do the symptoms and just kind of go into the fact we was talking about opioids and whatnot. When you see guys kind of leave and what guys are doing, we just go get the vitamin T and all these different things for games just to get you on there. And I'm just kind of segueing into AB talking about his ankle and looking at these things is these are serious conversations. Now I see guys kind of talking about it. Cal Turley does a great job talking about his. I guess he's got a new business with the CBD, and the cannabis and stuff like that. And they just talk about how many guys' lives have been saved, with dealing with cannabis. Yeah, and I'm like, look, why is the NFL not trying to do these things when you're saying you got high caliber guys, you got multi-million-dollar guys, right? And here in Kentucky, we got horse races. You're gonna get every equipment, everything you could possibly do to make sure that horse is ready, right? You're gonna make sure he's healthy, and you're gonna invest that money into.
Back in the day, they use that on horses.
Yeah,
even race horses have better equipment than us.
Right,
better equipment than us back then.
See that? Yeah. So, man, I tell you what, man, keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep knocking on doors, man. Especially with the NFL. Roger Goodell make everybody listen, and I think, man, the NFLPA needs to be pushing this even more. I
worked on a couple of older guys. Michael Wilcher's been in my clinic. I fixed 2 herniated discs in his back, saved him from back surgery. So I think that's going to be the grassroots, just getting guys to come in and start validating it and then we can start showing the MRIs and the scans and showing their mobility and all the hard facts and stuff. Because I have research from Harvard, from the Mayo Clinic, from Johns Hopkins on all my equipment. But the NFL is still ran by doctors, and so there's always going to be kind of that like, man, how do I not cut my own hand off to feed us? And nobody wants to put holistic people in charge of a team because they feel like holistic medicine ain't real medicine. It's just like, listen, we should be the first line of defense. The doctor should be the last line of defense. Okay, if we can't fix it holistically, we can always do surgery. We can always give you drugs. But let's try to do the stuff non-invasively and drug-free.
Yeah.
Before we get to them. But, for whatever reason, they put the cart before the horse and say, hey, now we're always going to do the medical way, and then you got to figure out the holistic way on your own outside the facility.
Yeah, man, that's just so crazy to me. I mean, just like taking that time and invest, doing the research. And like you said, yours is, with clearly backed up by research in itself, right? And I'm saying that there's some holistic things out there that, sometimes when it gets kind of out of the woods, when you're talking about curing cancer and all these, like, okay, wait a minute. Like, we know there's, medical and technology in itself, there's advances that you can do. But also, too, I think maybe a combination of things, right? To get yourself back is one of those things that we can necessarily do as a society, but definitely like as athletes in the NFL, why would you not try to explore it? Like you said, doing the infrared tables and, having
colonics, herbalists.
Yeah, herbalists. Yes.
You know what? I think they aren't opposed to listening to you, JD. I don't really know who would be the main guy you would contact to get that push through. That's you?
I know I could. I'm saying I know I could show them the program and have it rolled out. My clinic is already set up, so I got the model for them already.
Have you presented it to them yet?
No, because you can't get next to them. It's so hard. Like, even with the Bengals, I tried to talk to the Bengals about this my last couple of years in the league. But the problem is, every time you get the medical doctors in there, well, this doesn't sound familiar to me. This doesn't, and it becomes all this him and hawing because they don't understand it, because in medical school, they don't teach them nothing but drugs and surgery.
That's right.
So until these guys are willing to go back and get a new education, they're not motivated. They're like, nah, I don't want to go learn this stuff. I don't want to bring all these new practitioners in here that know things that I don't know. And then if they get better results, it's going to basically eat out of my pocket. So it's like.
But, you can start with a small 2-3 players, work with them, with that team until they put the word out to the team, and you gradually get more and more players. And then it's like, okay, what's going on here? Because we're not seeing a lot of you guys in the training room. You healed a lot quicker than what we expected you to be out. So, like, where are you getting this treatment from? Have you started working with some of the current guys?
Nah, and that's the other thing during the COVID era. It's really hard to get next to current guys because they're in this bubble, and it's like anything they do outside the facility is like extra hard to get okayed. So I've been working with retired players mostly. I worked with 3 or 4 retired, but Rudy Johnson. I've worked with, like I said, Mike Wiltshire. I've worked with a couple of college guys like Brian Breezy at Clemson. I worked with him. It's growing, but I feel like it's almost like a grassroots level. So hopefully, talking to guys like you, I got the documentary coming out, and then hopefully once the docu-series hits, I think with NFL guys, it's almost like it's got to be something that's so attractive that they want to come to you, because it's like it's hard for me to just go to the NFL and say, hey, I want to come in here and institute this whole new thing.
Well, D. Clem, how would you plug it right now if you had to sell it? If you had to sell this to an owner, to the NFL, NBA, how would you plug it in a short segment? Plug your company.
The number one problem we have as athletes is we really get paid to destroy our bodies for money. If you really look at us as a commodity, your number one job as an athlete is to be able to be on that field for 18 to 24 games a year. It doesn't matter how good I am, if I make the Pro Bowl, if I'm Hall of Fame. If I can't be on that field for 18 to 24 games, I'm not giving you the value that you're paying me. So as an owner, it would behoove you to invest in new equipment that's going to be non-invasive. It's not going to force you guys to be on opioids, because we already see what the downfall of that is and the after effects of it. But there's new equipment out here that doesn't involve a lot of training. It doesn't involve any danger, very little downsides, very little side effects. And basically you can always go back to doing the traditional things, but trying these things first should be your first line of defense, because these are the things that players can do in abundance. They can do it every single day to kind of prehabilitate themselves to prevent injuries, and not only deal with just the injuries that they actually have. We can prehabilitate them and hopefully prevent them from ever being on that table in the first place.
The name of your company?
Urbana Spine and Wellness Center in Urbana, Maryland.
Gotcha. So you said that we need you to plug.
That's the
Urbana?
plug right there. Urbana Spine and Wellness Center.
I got it. Okay. So right now we need to get whatever athletes there are in Maryland to come out to test you out, to see the process that you have at hand, and get the treatment that you provide, spread the word of how well it works, so that we can get your foot in the door somehow through whatever program, whether it's college, pros or whatever, to get you off the ground and running, to show these entrepreneurs or these big entities that you have what it takes, instead of the little process that we've been traditionally going through, ice and stem, ice and stem, ice and stem, to speed up your recovery time, but also to help you throughout, whether it's during your career or after your career.
And before you injure, like I said, this should be done preventatively. And that's the reason, that's the thing that we didn't learn. We came into the game and we just bang, bang, bang until we hit the wall, and we scrape ourselves off the wall and try to get back out there on the field. But imagine if you started in high school doing mobility training, doing cold laser, doing spinal decompression. Your body.
But that's the thing, though. It's something we didn't know. But that's what you're doing now. So you're trying to put it out there. So yeah, as I went, even with my stuff that I dealt with during the Chiefs, I didn't know what the hell I was supposed to do when I had back surgery, when I had back issues. I just did what the training staff told me to do, or I did what a previous player told me what he went through.
Right.
And so me, myself, I can sit there and do all the education I want, but I don't know the process of that. And I'm thinking to myself that the team wants me out on the field as fast as they can. So they're going to try to get me out there as quick as possible and give me the best procedure. That's just my thought.
Let me pause you right there. They do want you back on the field as soon as possible, but they're short-sighted in their thinking. Yeah, they may.
I know that 100%. 100%. I would say 90% of the time, whenever I had an injury, I was never fully healed. I shouldn't have been on the field.
Yeah,
but they needed us out there.
Instead of you playing 2 or 3 games, that could have been 3 or 4 more years of your career you could have played. That those injuries accumulated and affected. And that's where we got to be like, listen, we can do this and just work smarter. And it doesn't cost a lot of money. Like, I'm not talking about millions of dollars to change the way your facility runs and the way players take care of themselves. It would only take probably maybe a couple $100,000 to put this equipment in place and a few practitioners in there to operate it. But this would actually, I guarantee guys would not get injured nowhere near as much. It would cut your injuries probably by 75%.
Dude, I'm telling you, like every guy, every player that I know had back surgery, playing, was out of the league in like 1 or 2 years. It was always the same way, because you was never the same. And it was.
I was done a year or 2 after mine.
Was it? Yes. Yeah, and they, well, all right, I don't even want to talk about this. I won't get into mine, but they was pushing me to try to have back surgery too, right? And I didn't. So what I did, I went out to California. Went out to Carson, at Athletes Performance, right? The whole offseason.
Mark Verstegen, that's my guru.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Mark Verstegen.
Yes, sir.
One of the first pioneers in non-invasive drug-free healthcare.
Dude, man, when I'm telling you, they got me right. They told me how to use my body, how to use more muscles around it. I got into like one of the best shapes of my life. My core in itself was just stronger. And so I was able to put off like that surgery for like a whole year. Matter of fact, I didn't even have surgery. I didn't have surgery. And so they was able to get me back on the field. It just took a longer time. And so once I made it out there to Athletes Performance, those dudes, man, did a tremendous job just getting me back on the field. And so if I went through the NFL, the Chiefs jumped, hey, man, go ahead and do back surgery. I'm like, look, no, I've seen it too many times. I've seen it way too many times to know right now, this thing right here, because you're not really worried about me in the future. You ain't worried about me 5 or 10 years. I'm trying to play with my kids. I'm trying to run around the field. I'm trying to have a quality of life. Y'all, like you said, if we're a commodity, what have you done for me lately? And as soon as something like that happens, my usefulness,
we'll get a new one.
Gone. Right. Thrown around like trash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, have you been to the Trust in DC?
I have been to the Trust. Actually, one of my, I'm trying to think. I used to go out there when Scotty Graham, my first office was in Silver Spring. So when Scotty Graham worked for the PA, I went out there and met pretty much everybody the first 5 years I was in business.
Yeah.
And then now, Hannibal Naves.
Yeah.
One of my former teammates. He's doing a lot of stuff out there. So I've been by to see him a couple times. But like I said, it's really hard. The only place I've really gotten any traction is working with directly through directly to retired players. Like, I can go to retired players meeting. And the thing is, I don't even charge them. I mean, I charge them like a nominal fee, but I'm just trying to help them as much as possible. Like, listen, just come out. But it's hard to get guys to come because it's a 30-minute drive or 45. People make excuses because they don't understand how important it is and they don't understand what it is. But once they do it, they're like, oh my God, I'm never going to stop. But that's the hard part, is just to get that initial wave to come in and try it. But I got the people that live locally around me, they come in droves. But it's hard to get people in DC and Baltimore from the teams to commit to coming out this far.
Hey, look, man, I'm gonna come see you, brother. Believe me. You know what I'm saying? I always like, the Trust. I always told them, I said, look, I'm gonna peek my head in the door to see what they're doing. And then new things coming out, let me know about it. So I'm gonna come see you, D Clem. Definitely.
I like it, DC. But one more time.
Urbana Spine and Wellness Center.
No. One more time. Give us the name. Give us the website. If there's a number that they can reach you at, I want you to plug your company right now so we can get into this football conversation. All
right. This is Duane Clemons. I'm the head practitioner at Urbana Spine and Wellness Center. You can reach us at www.urbanaspineandwellness.com. You can also make appointments at Urbana Spine and www.Urbana Spine and Wellness at the Jane app. So if you go to the website, you can book from there. All the information's there. So just check us out. You can call us and get all that information.
Got it.
That's awesome.